Conscious Collaboration brings together entrepreneurs, changemakers, and thought leaders. We aim to highlight the people that embody the idea of aligned mind, body, and business. Each week, we share, discuss, and learn from the various experiences and ideas of our guest experts. Through our discovery, we find a path to an aligned mind, body, and business.
What up, guys? I'm Emily.
And I'm Lisa. And we're the Conscious Collaboration. Hey,
Yes,
Emily.
we are. Hey. How are you?
I'm here and I'm excited. I have lots to say.
You look amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Your eyebrows are
I think it's my eyebrows that I'm going to have to put this on our YouTube channel to
Lisa
show.
Got a fresh tint on her eyebrows and they're looking very distinguished. And
yeah, they are captivating. You cannot miss my eyes.
I'm captivated.
Yeah, I can tell. So follow along with me, Emily. We're going to talk to everybody, take everyone down the rabbit hole of signs today because I'm a fan.
Signs everywhere, signs.
Yes. Ooh, yes.
It's a song.
It is a song. We're not going to sing it yet.
We're not.
But as a feng shui practitioner and lover of all things quantum and metaphysical, I love the concept of signs and it entertains me. I look for them on a daily basis. You and I talk about them and share them, and it adds a little something extra to the day. I think it's quite fun.
It is.
I think it kind of takes, normal day-to-day working and life to another level from like basic and that whole Groundhog Day type of feeling to welcome to Hogwarts.
It's a little bit like the feeling of getting like a handwritten letter in the mail.
It is. I don't get enough of those anymore.
No, but we'll just keep getting signs.
Yes. So to that point, everyone
write us a letter, guys.
Write us a letter. Handwrite it and send it to our email.
Send it to the studio. Yeah.
Those are special. They contain an extra little special energy and feel more important. So the idea of signs that we're talking about today and what we share together in our day-to-day conversation, it's when you make a quiet request to yourself and perhaps to the universe or whoever you pray to and look to for answers. It's when you make a request to show me a sign that either I'm on the right path or that I'm looking for answers or clarity. And they always show up in some way, usually through some form of nature and communication. But we like to, and we'll talk a little bit more about this, is we like to work with virtual and things that we find in social media and in marketing sometimes carry those messages as well. It's kind of like the old, walking down the street and catching edges of conversations and piecing them together and saying like, I was just talking about that today. That old adage and that in one way is a sign too, but we can find our signs and synchronicities through social media, through YouTube. And so that being said, let's open up that can of worms. Emily, have you received any signs this week? Or what's your favorite sign to receive? If that's
my favorite sign to receive. Anybody who's been around here probably has a good guess. I get feathers.
Yay.
I have feathers all over the place here and at home that I've gotten on my walks. And so I've had a couple of different time periods with those. Interestingly, when I first started getting them was a couple of years ago, and it was kind of a, whatever sad heartbreak situation kind of thing. And what I asked for was to feel lighter. So then I started just finding feathers. They would be at this period, they would be all different colors. But I mean, that was to me asking to feel lighter and then getting this representation of like lightness was pretty damn cool, and just kind of a little nudge that like somebody's listening to me, you know. So I started my collection then, and then, you know, it kind of went absent for a while. And then there was a period of time starting over this summer where my tarot reader that I listen to on YouTube all the time started talking about the general collective energy of the time being specifically gray feather energy, which he said kind of means like going from rough waters to smooth waters, going from turbulent times to more peaceful times, which was really something that resonated with me, especially at that time. And I started finding, I kind of put it out there, like just a silent intention of like, all right, you know, if I'm supposed to see some gray feathers, that would be cool. Kind of let it go. As you do with manifestations, right? You don't just hang on to it and go, when is it coming? When is it coming? When is it coming?
Right.
I let it go, forgot about it. And then a couple weeks later, I started finding crazy amounts of gray feathers, like almost like specifically gray, almost every time I went out on a walk. And you know, it wouldn't be like I wouldn't be out there looking for them. They would appear in the middle of my path, like basically smacking me in the face. Like there's no way I wasn't going to see this feather. So that was pretty cool. And then, you know, even since then, I've gotten like some different colors here and there that have different specific meanings, and they always seem to go. So that's a nice, like,
that's
almost,
a really,
I guess,
popular
really literal one, because you can like, there's a million free resources out there of people talking about the symbolism based on the different colors of feathers. So it's easy to sort of decode.
Yeah. I mean, I just Googled it while you were talking, and there were a whole bunch of sites ranging from different backgrounds that talked about the representations of feathers. And I was thinking about when you share that in your personal Facebook page about finding the feathers, I think that was one of your most popular posts I've ever seen. And so much enthusiasm came through, and everyone was like, feathers for me too. And then everyone else started finding feathers and taking pictures of them and showing them to you. So it was like another affirmation and communication of feathers to you through the virtual means. But it also like created this wave of positivity where other people needed the gray feather to uplift them. And you helped like create that little mini gray feather movement, but it went on for it went on for like a quarter.
Month. Yeah.
It went on for like 3 months. I still
find them time to time here. It's not as frequently as I was, but I think that's because I've entered into smoother waters. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that has manifested in a way. But I think that nature, God, the universe, however you're framing this, is going to give you messages in, you know, the most easy channels possible. So that could be nature. Obviously, feathers are a very nature oriented, sort of easy, you know, if some higher force is going to place something in front of you, that's sort of an easy thing to bring about, because there's birds everywhere. But I think it's also, especially if you are a person who uses YouTube a lot, or you know, other forms of social media, I think that's a really, like, why wouldn't a higher power use our modern methods of communication to communicate something?
Right. It's
why there's a gazillion tarot readers, you know, on YouTube. And so why wouldn't some of them be used to deliver specific messages to you? I know that I've sat through a lot of readings that I'm just like, dang, this
blown
guy's talking
away.
to me, you know, like he's in my head, he's in my life. And you know, I've gotten a lot of good, like, you never want to take any advice or, you know, signs like super literally. You don't want to be super rigid about anything, but it's definitely helped to steer me in the right direction on things, confirm things I already believed or disbelieved. And like I mentioned before, just kind of help to get that feeling that you're not alone in whatever you're dealing with and kind of looking for signs about.
Yeah, I think exactly all those experiences come about. And even if, like, we were to stretch a little bit further, if someone's not subscribing to any higher power other than themselves, if it's of your higher self or your inner core truth, and you're looking for some clarity, and you see these repetitions, or these confirmed answers to requests that you're making, you know, outwardly in your life, it's kind of like a way to support you and affirm for you
Mm-hmm.
the answer, like, to whatever
Yeah.
it is that you're looking for. So, I mean, whether it's something simple in your life, and you're, you know, I run across anything from the simple to the grand in feng shui, whether someone's like,
Right.
what color should I paint the exterior of my home? It could range from something like that they're looking to an answer, to what should my next business venture be? And they're looking for a sign or a synchronicity to help affirm them in that way. But it works in both ways, you know, to help you feel more confident. Like, yeah, I made the right color choice because of this, because I know it to be true. I feel confident. I saw this represented. It showed up on my Instagram page, and I saw the colors being used, and I knew this was perfect for me. It really lit me up. I feel happy. I can't wait to see it on my home. To In the career expression, it can be, you know, more of like, I knew this was a part of me that comes easily to me, and now I can make it an easier. I can make that my business.
Yeah.
It can be a very easy way to affirm, okay, this is what I need to do, and let's get going on it.
At the Conscious Collaboration Podcast, we are proud affiliates of Atapa medical grade red light therapy devices. Red light therapy boasts a long list of clinically proven benefits, many that I and many of my clients have experienced firsthand. You can be sure that you'll be able to train harder, recover faster, and sleep better with Atapa Red Light Therapy. Visit myatapa.com, myatapa.com, or use the link in our Instagram bio to shop with the code COLLAB15, that's COLLAB 15, for a discount on your device.
So
Yeah.
Signs can be very useful, and we say they're very useful to us. It you know, it can direct a lot of, it can condense and direct a lot of energy and effort towards one direction, versus just hemming and hawing all the time. Like, should I do this? Should I do that? Should I do this? Should I do that? Well, here's your answer. Do that.
Yeah. Well, and you know, now the more that I'm thinking about it, like, if you're open to receiving signs and messages, it doesn't have to even be something that you've asked specifically about. Sometimes it could just be something to get your attention, you know. It could be anything from a feather to a billboard to, you know,
Yeah.
what you mentioned earlier, like, I've been told to always pay attention when you hear parts of other people's conversations, like that there's something there that is supposed to get your attention. Or even if you just see something weird, like an old book or CD case or something on the ground, you know, like something weird that catches your attention, sort of bookmark it, right? Maybe it doesn't make sense for
Yeah.
you at the time, but if you're open to this kind of thing, you can really piece together little bits of information, or just remember something weird, not really sure what it connects to at the time, but then when you encounter a certain situation or question, you're like, I got it.
Yeah. Signs can really open up the doors to things that you wouldn't otherwise be open to. Like
They open your options up rather than, if you're just skeptical about sort of everything.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't know. That's kind of sad to me. Like, I don't want, I don't want things to be that random and meaningless.
Mhm. Yeah. I prefer welcome to Hogwarts. What are we
Yeah.
playing
Yeah.
today?
We want lightning bolts coming
Yeah,
out of
what a great
fingers and
idea
stuff
that
like that.
just happened by accident kind of feeling, and that like play and joy that we always talk about is so important to bring to your life and your business and your relationships, is like the wonder of things and the like newness of things. And if you're not open to, you don't have that openness to receive things that might be delivered in other ways, other than literal
Right. Because
book.
it's not actually magic, right? It's not that
Right.
certain people have, more capability to see these things or to experience these things than other people. It's just that some people are open to seeing that. And sure, you can have the, like, I don't even know if this is actually like the red car thing. Like, if you're
Mhm.
thinking about red cars, then all you see are red cars. And
Right.
so in that way, like, like I mentioned before, you don't want to you don't really want to look too hard for signs,
Mhm.
right? You want to put it out there, open yourself up, and then just kind of let it happen. But if you're looking for it, like, where's my sign? Where's my sign? Where's my sign? Then you might start, just seeing things out of a confirmation bias kind of situation. But
Yeah. I mean,
but
it's something like we were saying too, it's not like we see a sign and we're going to do something that's really risky and like harmful to ourselves or others.
It's
We want
data.
to have
It's
discernment.
data. It's not the end all be all.
Mhm.
Like, if you interpret a sign a certain way, but every other circumstance in this scenario is kind of telling you that, that action or whatever might not be the move, then don't take these things too literally. It's all just data.
Yeah. And it's just fun.
It is fun.
I think it adds a lot of joy.
It is fun.
And
It adds,
that.
it adds meaning to things.
As like a lot of us in this conscious collaboration collective looking for that more purposeful, meaningful aspect to fulfill us in our lives. It's a good layer. I know a lot of people in the collective have shared with us they love the concept of numbers and repetitions in numbers, and that's a popular one that comes up all the time. And for a lot of people, that's really uplifting to their day to look for those.
Right. And you know what? If you're a person who still, in listening to this, isn't into that sort of thing, also, like, don't rain on anybody else's parade. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, keep it to yourself. If it's not your thing, like,
it's making someone else happy. Let them be
like,
happy.
is a placebo really a placebo if it works?
Right. Yeah.
Who cares?
I'm a fan of that.
You achieve the desired outcome. Who cares?
Yeah,
if you
exactly.
move forward on a certain, action with more confidence and clarity and assuredness, then cool.
Whatever
Who
it takes
cares
to
if
get
it's
there.
quote unquote real or not? If it does the job, it was real enough.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, conversely, a lot of people do get joy in there's nothing wrong with it in debunking and researching and there's a lot of joy to be had.
Well, debunk to yourself.
But keep that debunking to yourself.
On a public forum where people are looking to have those things debunked.
So we've had
leave your friends alone. Leave your wizard friends alone. Let them have their science. Let them have their feathers.
It's helped us, like you and I, as we collaborate, it helps us to come up with brainstorming ideas and think about things that, other people would say are impossible, and we make it possible.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot to be said for that. We wouldn't have thought of otherwise had we not had that openness or, and being able to share that concept. It's fun. We explore different ideas that we've been able to add into very concrete business or life activities.
We've used them enough to our benefit where there's for me, it's no turning back now.
Yes. So everybody listening, we are big fans of that. We would love to hear your feedback and what are your signs that you've received lately. Before we close it out though, and we invite people into the collective, I want to just delve a little bit more into this concept of virtual, because you and we really embrace electronics and virtual and exchanges in that way to an extreme. I think we always have a constant thread going on Instagram. We share, YouTube back and forth and find a lot of inspiration from content creators. And, I am actually a big fan of AI, artificial intelligence. I know it can be scary because all of our devices are constantly scanning us, and there's probably a camera on me right now, like recording and reporting to something, but it's been really useful to me as a tool. And in finding signs in that way too, I know just, for example, working with a client, trying to find the perfect wallpaper. And I know I'm talking about wallpaper around my phone, and it starts to activate a bunch of wallpaper ads on all my devices. That goes over to my YouTube and my Instagram and Facebook. And, that filters over to Pinterest and so on and so forth. But guess what that does? It refines and narrows down all of the different wallpaper choices in the world and brings them right to me. And it's already narrowed down to things I love. So thank you, artificial intelligence, for collaborating with me on it. But it's like a hand delivered. For me, it's like a sign. I'll open up a device and be like, there it is. That's what I need. And it's easy for me. So I'm all about making things easier and more fun. It doesn't need to be a difficult investigation to source something that's needed for business, or in my case, in wallpaper. I love that artificial intelligence part of it. And I like, the intuitive, algorithms that are in, I'm a big fan of my feed on my Facebook page. Is very positive. And likewise in Instagram and in YouTube, I've received, great suggested content that has, it's been entertaining and it's added some value in some way to my day.
Yeah, I think that concept of AI and algorithms almost makes the concept of signs and synchronicities feel more concrete and understandable as to how this could happen and have meaning and not just be random coincidence, right? Because you show that basically you can just design energy to, customize something just for you.
Yeah. I mean, we're responsible for the algorithms around us by what we're voicing and what we're putting out there. And as you and I talked about earlier in the week, it could even be like if there's a camera on us on Instagram, it could even be our micro expressions that are being picked up on. So we are responsible for the feedback that we're receiving from any of these devices to a great degree. So that goes even further back to being really diligent in mindset practices and taking care of yourself holistically with the words you say to yourself and the words that you say out loud, and being very full of intention all the time.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So like you and I talk about all the time how important intention is and intuition in everything, in both of our practices, in our businesses, in our spiritual and self and mindset practices. We are consistently looking for ways that we can be more full of intention in what we're doing, even in what we are bringing to this podcast. I would say intentional and purposeful, and I think to a degree, like I feel like the word authentic is overused, but really, but I mean, I think it's appropriate here. Being very authentic in who you are and how you show up is reflected back in your environment.
Yeah. Because if you show up inauthentically, guess what's coming at you?
Yes.
You know, that's when you get the bullshit.
And that in itself is a sign.
Bullshit is a sign.
Get back on path.
Pump the brakes.
Yes. Get back
Go
on
in the
path
wrong way.
how you're showing up. It's evident in our closed and private Facebook group, the people that have come together there are all like-minded people that have found us either through our friend groups or through this podcast. A really great selection of people that are open-minded and, safe space to share things like these signs and synchronicities and helping each other refine, okay, like, let's hear what you have to say. And this might be a good place for you to go. So there's a lot of benefit to listening to your inner intuition. And I think too, and receiving those signs to help guide you and point you and direct you.
Yeah, I would love to see that in the Conscious Collaboration Collective, is people sharing, any signs or synchronicities that they come across and kind of bouncing them off of others, collaborating, if you will.
Yeah, let's play that game starting today. Yeah, we're going to jump on in there. I want to see if anybody else is finding feathers or what it is, their numerical repetitions that they see or the patterns that show up. If their children are collecting something children are an instant believer in signs. I don't know, if yours does the same, but my kids are like, Ainsley's a big fan of collecting feathers. And for her, it's just amazing that they're big fans of, lunar. They have their favorite moons and to them that lights them up or gives them great joy. But again, it's like these natural human responses of us. It's ingrained in us to look for these patterns and, however that rewards us in whatever way. But let's put that out there in the collective and invite everybody out there listening. If you're not in the Conscious Collaboration Collective, look for us on Facebook, follow the link provided in the description, and send your handwritten notes, photographs, take a picture and send it to our email, or you can send it to our Instagram, because we'd want to hear more from you. And I think we're, it's coming up. I think there might be coming up in the next couple of months. We'd like to do another email grab bag.
Yeah. And you know what? If you have a different perspective, we want to hear from you also.
Yeah. And that would be a sign for us. We would love to hear that. And we welcome that. And we want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in today. We look forward to hearing from you. And Emily, it's been fun as always.
It's been real.
Let's do it again real soon.
Go find some signs.
Let's go find them. I'm seeing them. I think the squirrels outside sitting on the fence, eating their snacks, watching me record this podcast are a sign.
Yeah.
Pretty entertaining.
Captivated audience.
Yes. All right. I'll talk to you in 5.
Talk to you in 5. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank y'all so much for listening to our podcast. If you haven't yet, please be sure to subscribe, rate, review, and share with all your friends so they can join our circle of collaboration on this journey. You can find us on Instagram at Conscious Collaboration Podcast on Spotify, iTunes, and Audible, to name a few. Please join us next time for another deep dive into how you can live life in more alignment, mind, body, and business. Send us your questions and comments in our DMs or email us at consciouscollaborationpodcast@gmail.com. See you in 5 minutes.